Classes are open for adults and teens interested in hands-on training and basic wilderness survival skills. Welcome to Mornings on Main Street. I'm your host, Stephanie Miller. Coming up, Survive 72 founder Tim Hardy explains how hands-on the course is and why he wants to share his knowledge of survival. But first, our headlines. Let's introduce you to the Lennon family out of Houston County. The Lennons spent 10 days in Uganda with the children and staff of Raise the Roof Academy. Raise the Roof Academy offers high-quality education centers, community health programs, and income-generating opportunities in Uganda. It is shared in the article that the Lennons were there to teach and encourage, but they too received lessons and love while with the Academy. If you have had an interest in a mission trip, you should check out the story of Houston County family travels to Uganda. You can find that on our website. Just look for the Hendersonville Standard. Middle Tennessee residents and visitors celebrated the cultural heritage of more than 500 tribes in the United States with food, music, and dancing at the 44th Annual Native American Indian Association Indian Education Tennessee Powwow. This year's Tennessee Powwow was presented by the Metro Arts Commission, South Arts, Tennessee Arts Commission, and the Native American Indian Association of Tennessee, who defined the event as a place where tribal and cultural differences are placed aside and a spirit of unity is felt. For more stories from our Middle Tennessee communities, head over to our website, mainstreetmedia.tn.com.
He shoots and he scores!
Outdoor knowledge on survival skills really honestly is good for anyone and everyone, but especially if you're an outdoor enthusiast. Survive 72 is a wilderness survival skills class based here out of Paris, Tennessee. We are with the man behind this class. It is Tim Hardy. First off, Tim, thanks for your time.
You're welcome.
So we got a little bit of an introduction in the beginning talking about fire and what you need to use, the 3 things you need to have with you. First off, why do you host this? Why do you put this on?
Well, one of the things I do, I'm retired out of the military now, so I really don't have anything to do. So I like to volunteer to help give back to the community and that type thing. So I volunteer with our search and rescue teams here in the county. And I've taught wilderness survival when I was in the military and things like that. And I just enjoy doing it and giving people some knowledge about things. Like you said, if they're out, do whatever it is that they're doing, because I can give you a lot of statistics about the need for it. One of those, I'll try to make it as short as possible, because like I told you before, I can draw things out, but
I'm interested, and I know there's people out there that would love to hear this and maybe take part in it.
Okay, so here's you some statistics, and this is based on some years past from 2004 to 2007. So we're talking 3 years, right? And the statistics come from 5 of our national parks. So it's important that somebody knows some things to do to try to sustain themselves for 72 hours until rescue can get to them.
So let's break this down. So I want to look at two scenarios. So say if you have a hiker, someone going out for a day's period, they plan on hiking just for a day,
day hike,
morning till evening, yes, day hike.
Yeah.
And then we'll talk about, say, if you're going out to maybe camp for the weekend. So let's start with that day hike. So I know as a hiker, we have our backpack, we have a water bladder, typically a compass. Again, cell phones, a lot of times in a lot of areas, lose. You don't have the signal for the cell phone.
As here.
Right. So we have, protein bars, typically have some fruit of some sort, a change of a shirt, again, typically layered. What else should we make sure that we equip ourselves with? And I know for some people, they're like, okay, they just go in what they have on because they think they're just going to be a few hours.
Well, Stephanie, anytime that I go out, in a situation like that, I have a survival kit.
Okay.
And in that kit, I have a means of sheltering myself, starting fires, purifying water, signaling for rescue. That's a minimum in that kit.
Even if you're just going out for a day?
Even if I'm just going, if I leave from up here and I go down there to my deer stand, I got a survival kit in my little backpack.
And first and foremost, I think the most important thing from what I've heard, and you correct me if I'm wrong, you should always let someone know where you're at.
Number one.
How long you plan on being, and a time reference of when you might return. You
got time for a story?
We have a time for a story.
I know a guy. This was before the days of cell phones. He had some hunting areas. He left the house. He told his wife, I'm going over here to hunt. He was bow hunting. He goes over to this place where he's got a place that he's going to bow hunt at. When he gets there, he notices there's somebody else already in there. It's public land. So being the courteous hunter that he is, he decides, well, I'm not going to walk in on top of this person that's already in here hunting. So he decides to go to a different place at the other end of the county. So he told his wife he was going here, okay, which is on the north end of the county. He goes to the south end of the county. County's a big county. He goes down there where he has another place. He has a stand. He climbs up this stand. He falls on his back, 15 feet, hits the ground, breaks his bow. Luckily for him, he didn't injure himself or anything, knocked the breath out of him, and he gets up and he goes back to the truck. On his way back to the truck, he realizes that if he had broke his back, broke his legs, whatever, and couldn't get back to the truck, couldn't get back, he didn't really have anything with him that day, that they would have been looking on the other end of the county for him. They would have never come down there looking, and then that evening it got colder, rain came in, he probably would have died.
So lesson learned, now I'm assuming taking that time in between, you make that change in direction to let someone.
Or let's say you're backpacking, and you said you've backpacked a lot. You've got a lightweight tent, so you have a shelter with you. You've got means of cooking and making fire and boiling water or purifying water. I don't know, you may use a filter of some type or whatever, one of those pump filters.
So clarify, we haven't backpacked overnight, just throughout the day. So from morning until nightfall. And then we typically go back to either a campsite or.
Okay, so you're still day camping or day hiking. So it's never bad to have means of filtering water, or purifying it either by a chemical or filter or being able to boil it or all three or whatever, because water is important. There's a thing called the rule of threes. You can go 3 minutes without air. You can go 3 hours without shelter in extreme environments. You can go 3 days without water, and you can go 3 weeks without food. So what's most important in this? Shelter and water, and air, of course, but, food is just on the bottom of the list. But everybody, and it all depends on what school you're talking to. There's hundreds of people out there that teach wilderness survival, and everybody's got their own, take on this is the most important thing, or the 5 C's, or there's all kinds of acronyms and stuff. I call it skills. Make a fire, make a shelter, signal for rescue, find water, make it safe to drink, and first aid. Those 5 things is what you need to do to keep yourself alive for 72 hours till rescue can get to you. So, that's just simple. And whatever you take with you to do that is important.
So Survive 72, that is what you're learning. You're learning those 5 skills, the wilderness survival skills that could keep you alive.
Yeah, and that's why I named it Survive 72. Okay, so here's my school of thought on survival kits. You can buy survival kits out there on the market. There are all kinds of them. Ultimate survival kit, the best survival kit. You see it everywhere. Just remember, they're made to sell. People want to sell this stuff and make money. My school of thought on it is build your own survival kit. Okay, build it, set a size of a container that it's going to be in so that you will carry it. You can get a survival kit as big as your backpack for $1,000. It's got all kinds of stuff in it, you know, like you could probably build a space shuttle out of the thing. But is it necessary to have? No. Are you gonna carry it every time? Probably not. But if you can build you a kit, and I have one, I'll show you some up there they're in the classroom that I've built. And I call it the brick. It's about the size of a brick. And you can just throw it in your day pack and it stays there. It's waterproof, not water resistant, waterproof.
Really enjoyed my time with Tim, and we're not done just yet. On Monday, Tim will break down survival kit items that are good to have on hand when out in the wilderness. We'll be right back.
Busy bee, yeah, busy bee. If you need
Hold on, y'all, hold on. I need to make a call. Hey, this is Brianna with Busy Bee. I'm giving you a call to let you know your technician is on his way.
3-3.
Guys, not yet. Not yet.
Busy bee, oh,
Now I'm
busy
ready,
bee.
guys.
Call 775-7833.
Thanks so much for joining us on this Friday. Have a wonderful rest of your day. We'll see you back here on Monday.